city of Bryan is 154 years old right now. This was a farming, ranching community. It always has been. Cotton was the king back in the day, so this is where everything was transported in and out of our area right through here on the rail station. This is where the people, the cotton brokers, the farmers, the ranchers would come through. They would filter off into the community. They filter off to the different restaurants, grocery stores. LaSalle has been it's kind of a staple of downtown Bryan. It's one of our flagship places that we have here. It's one of the tallest buildings. It's one of the first things you see when you come in and out of downtown Bryan. It's also, back in the day, this is where the people came. They stayed, they got off the train. Back then, they were mercantiles at that point, but this has always been the place that they stayed. There was very few hotels in this area, and this was where the best of the best came. This has been the hub for decades, for over a century. This has been the hub, and it continues to be the hub. And all the stuff that we've been putting in since the mid-'80s, infrastructure, the businesses that have come in here, the restaurants that have been moved here and moved their businesses over here. There's a lot of stuff that's going into downtown Bryan, and this is because of an anchor like this. I grew up in the city, and I grew up when everything happened at downtown. Every weekend we would come in, you'd see the four banks on the four corners. You come in, you'd see, it's kind of like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. You walk in, you shake hands with everybody. Everybody's greeting each other on the sidewalk. That was the downtown that I grew up in. By the time I left high school, everything was boarded up, everything was closed. The revitalization that the city has put in, the money that they put in for infrastructure that did it, and for the private business that put in, and you're talking about, hundreds of millions of dollars that have gone into this revitalization. Right now, we're kind of living the dream, and it's still growing because you get a sense of place here. I remember sitting in front of this hotel maybe 3 or 4 times a week with former Mayor Andrew Nelson. We would just talk about what else we can do and how this transition is. When people used to be scared to come downtown Bryan, now you're seeing those kids, and when I say the kids, these young adults that were coming from A&M that were on date night. And that was one of the things we watched, and how do we improve on that? How do we make it better? This hotel has come through probably 3 or 4 different renditions of itself back in the day, and this has been the culmination of a lot of efforts that have come into it. This has been by far the biggest and the best of everything that we have. So if you come into LaSalle Hotel today, you're going to understand the feel of downtown Bryan. You're going to understand the heartbeat of downtown Bryan. You'll look at every single detail, and you're going to see, somebody who truly loves the bones of what this hotel started out in, and now what we've ultimately have now today, which is something to be very proud of.
Ultimately, the brand of this hotel is basically an homage to the history of the hotel itself, coming up 100 years, the history of the train and its connection to the city, and then the history of the college town and alumni who come back to visit and want to spend time here. You'll see little elements in the rooms that sort of speak to the train. The rooms are somewhat small in some cases, so that speaks to the train. Ultimately, the elevator design will have some elements in the ceiling that speak to it, and then some of our furniture and colors and patterns and textures kind of go back to that 1920s, 1930s era of train travel.
When you come into your actual hotel room, you're going to go back into the 30s and 40s and 50s when you have the high-end stuff that you would see in the best of the best business travelers that went across our country, all here into your room right now. Everything they've done has been a delight.
This particular hotel is an old hotel. It's 100 years old. In the history of our company, we've restored several historical hotels over the years. Just the location of this hotel within the city of Bryan and what's happened in the city of Bryan with the recent upgrades and economic development and the success that they've had. We saw that and want to be part of it.
Being in a community like this and seeing the different generations, whether ahead of me or behind me, everybody's enjoying this revitalization. So we're very proud of our heritage. We're very proud of who we are as a community. And this is just one of those little steps that makes us bigger, better, and will continue us on into the next generations. If you look back what it was then and you look at where it is today, this is truly a legend reborn.